Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to bring a couple more easy earring tutorials using a package I received from Jesse James Beads. It is the May Magical Mystery Bead Box, and it was called Treasure Trove. It was all different under the sea items. And I am using this particular bead strand. Well, I actually had two of the same bead strand because I purchased the strand and then I also received it in this kit or in this bead box. And it's called Tide Pull. And this is what I have left out of two entire strands. So I've really been getting a lot of projects made with it. It's got really beautiful like turquoise and gold and just beautiful colors. So for the first pair of earrings, I'm also going to be using from that Treasure Trove bead box. These, which I'm absolutely in love with. I would love to get another strand of these. They're just seashell Hishi beads, and I have been really loving using these. I have made so many projects. I need to do a video of just the necklaces that I've made from this box, because I have probably 6 or 7, 8, something like that. And I'm just like loving this box. It's been an endless creativity flow from this box. So for the first pair of earrings, I always take just a head pin. This one is in gold. And since I never know where my eye pins are, or I really don't even use them, I just snip off the point just so I, have two ends here with no flat end. And then I just take my needle nose, or my okay, hang on just a second. I messed that up. I did not need to cut that point off for this earring. I'm thinking of my next pair of earrings that I'm making. So let me grab another. So scratch that. Do not cut the end off. You need the flat end on here. Okay, I just happened to look over at my little example to the side. So what I did, this is like the easiest pair of earrings ever. You just take 3 of these Hishi beads and you're just going to slip them right onto the head pin. And this is a thicker head pin. Some of these did not work on the head pin because some of the holes were just a little bit too small, but there were plenty that did work. Take a daisy spacer, and then take the the bead cap and this gorgeous bead right here, this gorgeous crystal. Add the top bead cap on, another of the daisy spacers right on the top like that, and then just finish it off with 3 more of these really awesome seashell Hishi beads. And that's what you have. That's what it looks like. Then you just take some like flat nose pliers, and you just want to give it a kind of get up here towards the end and just give it a little bit of a bend away from you. And then I always snip off about that much and just make sure it doesn't go flying. And then you want to take your pliers, the round nose pliers, and I put them up at the very, I keep getting out of frame. Put them up at the very end, and then just give it a nice little roll right over top of there. And then I always take my flat ones and just kind of manipulate it so that make sure that it's good and secure. And that's what you end up with. I love that shine and sparkle. And this is just really fun to sit there and twist it. It could be like a little fidget earring. And then take an ear wire. And I know some people will open up the loop on the top of their like this, the head pin, I always open up the loop on my ear wires, just whatever you do, whatever you like to do. And that's what it looks like. So see, that earring went together in like 2 seconds. Lickety split. So then you have these really nice, sparkly, fun earrings. And I just love that movement there. I mean, you can sit there and twist them. If you're like a little bit of a nervous person sometimes in certain situations, I know I'll like take my necklaces and just kind of fidget with them. These earrings would be really fun to just sit there and play with. And they make a nice little clinky sound too. I love that noise. So that is the first pair of earrings that I have come up with. Now for this next pair, this is the one that I actually need to cut the end off. Okay, so let me just go ahead and take my beads off of the head pin right there. And let me look at my little example over here. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and cut the end off of there. And this head pin is not quite as heavy gauge as my gold one, so it's a little bit more flimsy. It's not quite as sturdy, and so it's much easier to work with. And there's what it looks like. And then I just want to open up that loop on the bottom. And where did my little, I'm using these beads here that came, these little charms. They're like little conch shells. They came out of, let me show you real fast. As soon as I get this, I want it so that the shell, I think I just closed this back up. Okay, open my loop here. I want it so that if I can get this on here, come on, cooperate. Come on. I want it so that this is the front side of the earring. And then just get it to where I can actually close this back up and make sure that is secure and that there's not really a gap. Of course, this is a big enough little loop that it won't slip out. But that is what we have to start with. And that little shell came from, let me find it here, if I can find that mix. It came out of this bead mix called Seashells. And this is what I have remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the like ivory shell beads and 4 of the gold. And there's one little lonely square shaped shell bead. But those cute little charms came out of that bead mix. And then what we're going to do is I put this tiny little crystal here, which that came out of, I'm also kind of mixing in some beads out of a mix that I'm trying to use up. I've received it from Jesse James a little while ago, I believe maybe back in July, maybe. This is called Under the Sea. And so I am pretty much done with using up that. And this, I don't believe those came from the Under the Sea. I think they came from the tide pool. I may be mistaken though. That's one thing that I wish I had done, was to keep track of where I was using what beads from. But they all came from these fun Under the Sea mixes and bead strands. And this little teeny tiny sort of teardrop goes on there. And then I've got these itty bitty, let me see if you can see them. These are from my stash, these baby spacers. I love them because it just adds a tiny little touch of something there just to help separate the beads. And then these gorgeous little kind of like coin shaped shell beads that came from that seashell mix as well. And then I put the other, no, that one didn't go on next. Then I use this like a disc-shaped spacer bead and this beautiful green crystal here. Then I am going to top it off with another baby spacer. And then I always like to add just a little tiny ball spacer on there. And I don't really need to bend it too much, but I am going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a bend. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, I want to make sure I get the loop going the right way that I want it. So this is the way it needs to hang because I want the shell to face forward like that. So I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to give this little bend. And I do not need to cut any off because I have just enough that I'm going to be able to twist this little loop down at the top and close it. And I always just like to adjust it a little bit more. Like I said, these silver headpins are a little bit more pliable, so it's a little bit easier to maneuver if they don't go exactly the right direction. And that is pretty much all there is to it, just building up the earring. And I have my other ear wire over here. Hi, Lily, my little doggy, Lhasa Apso. Actually, it's my daughter's dog. She is at work, so my dog is hanging out in my room while I make jewelry. And then I just close it, and you have a nice long pair of flowy earrings. So there is what it looks like. The nice mixture of, I'm not really one that likes to mix metals a lot, but I really like the look of these sort of bronzy seashells with the silver and like the antique silver. I just think it's all really, really pretty together. And the seashells here gives a little bit of a shimmer. So, and then just a pop of green for a little bit of color. And I really love how these turned out. So there are two quick and easy earrings. I love this pair right here. Just love the movement, love the noise that it makes. You clink them together. And then these nice long pair of earrings with just a tiny bit of dangle at the end. So there are two fun pairs of earrings that you can make with really any beads that you might already have, or you can always go on Jesse James on their website, and they have a ton of awesome bead mixes, and you can pretty much recreate these with any of their bead mixes because they usually have like charms and the findings and everything in them. So thank you everyone for stopping by, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care.